Hey guys, welcome back. Today we'll be doing this butterfly setup for a baby shower, all pink theme. But before we do, don't forget like, comment, subscribe to the channel. So for this baby shower, we definitely took it back to the classic pink and blue baby shower colors, and I was kind of loving it. The colors I use will be listed in the description box, but I use for the first time Romey by Tuftex. I use some pink and satin, as you can see, and then also just some pink inside white. Just really classic colors. At first, I had no clue what I wanted to do. I just started to build. As you can see, I had a few clusters at the top part, and then now I'm just building out the bottom because I knew I for sure wanted to flare out both sides at the bottom. And then somehow, as we move on, you'll see what it ended up turning into. But right now I'm just using my cluster and quad method. So I have a cluster and quads attached already. I also, as you can see, already have my 5 inches on the clusters or quad already, which I absolutely love. I don't think I'm going back to adding on my 5 inches on site. I do it at home while I inflate my clusters. At the end, I just add them on. It just saves so much time, and I can focus on styling and shaping on site. That's like one less thing I have to do, and I'm always trying to find ways where I can be more efficient on site, where I'm not focusing on small little things that I can easily do at home, which is in it, it allows me to transport more clusters because that's one less bag that I have to push in my car. I can easily just add another cluster or two clusters in comparison of pushing a bag of 5 inches in my car because they're already on a cluster. So it's literally a win-win, you guys. If you haven't tried it yet, I suggest trying it. It's perfect. I'm now working on the other side. Again, I have some clusters. The clusters were different. So I have, again, my clusters of 8 balloons. Some of them I had two 16 inches in them, and then six 11-inch balloons in it. And then attached is a quad of 4 balloons, which were all 11 inches. And then another one of my clusters, I do 6 balloons of 11 inches only with a quad attached. That's typically a cluster that I use at the end. So when I say at the end, like when I'm closing out the garland at the bottom, and my clusters of 8 balloons are usually something I build my base with. So those are something as you can see when I was going down the backdrop, those are pretty much those clusters with the 16-inch balloons. I don't like how those 16-inch balloons on the right side, you see how they lined up? I should have like twisted one of those 16 inches inward so it'll be stagnant to the other 16 inches and not all lined up back to back. I think I will end up moving them, but here I am still attaching clusters. I use the butterfly chair. I use fishing line and I attached it to the chair, so of course you can't see it. That way it will keep the balloons up. And from here, I thought like, okay, I think I'm gonna just do like a butterfly. It was really impromptu. When I came on site, I was not thinking of doing this at all. Most of the time I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but I knew for sure I didn't plan to do this. But it ended up working out. Except for a few things, but I'll get into that. So yeah, I'm just going in now. Literally at this point, I'm just filling in a space. Like, one, I love how the left side look. Like that flare, like the tech, just the shape of it looks so good. But I'm going in and I'm just adding in and fully in that middle portion of it just to fill it in to make it come all together. And then from there, I will be fixing the left side a little bit more and the right top because it's not all the way there. There's some pieces that still need to come together. But when I attach neck to neck, and when I'm adding in clusters like where I'm at now, I make sure I attach to the right and to the left so it's pulling from both sides. That way, if you see a gap in your design or a hole somewhere and you use the neck to neck method, it's most likely because you didn't tie it in multiple places. If you only tied it to one cluster, then it will cause a gap most of the time, depending on where you're putting it at in the design. But I always recommend tying it to at least two different spots. neck to neck. That way it pulls from both angles and it closes any gaps that you may have in your design. Here I'm just fixing it. As you can see, I didn't know what I was doing at first, and then I figured out a design I wanted to do. So I needed to reposition those clusters at the top, which wasn't hard at all. I literally just cut down that cluster and I pulled it down and attached it to the bottom part, which was pretty quick and easy. And don't be afraid, like when you start a design, you don't have to be married to that design. If you think it's not going great, if you don't like how it's looking and you still in the middle of it, I'm not saying you're at the end, people walking in. No, once that happens, you're pretty much done. But if you're still in the middle of building and you still have time, and my motto is, if they still setting up, I'm still setting up. So if I see they still setting up, I feel like I still have time too. So if you not really satisfied with your design, how it's looking, pinpoint what looks not good and rip it out. Take it out. Take it out immediately. Take it out and put it somewhere else and find something else to do. That will be the best decision you ever make, because you don't have to be married to a design once you put it in. You can always take it out. That's why I love the neck method, because I can easily rip something out versus if I'm using a 260. I mean, you can still cut it out, but it may lose the integrity of the design, because now it may be loose somewhere because you have a 260 holding everything together. Versus neck to neck, if I don't like something, I can easily rip it out and my whole structure is still stable and, you know, holding up, and I don't have to worry about a cluster or a quad falling out in the middle of a party. That's the last thing we would want. So here we go. The butterfly is pretty much done. I'm gonna just talk about really quick the things that I wasn't feeling. So I mentioned the right side already. Those 16 inches kind of lined up all together was bugging me, but I ended up liking the right side a little bit more than the left side. The left side, you see that middle area where that light pink is at? It was too bulky. It wasn't giving me like a smooth curve. And these are just my eyes. The client loved it. I loved it still. But these are just some things I would have want to look a little bit better. So yeah, it just wasn't as smooth on the left side as much as I would have liked it to be. It had a little bump in it, and I really wasn't. The right side's giving me that nice curve, but it is what it is. Alhamdulillah. So this is the final setup, you guys. This is how everything turned out, and they loved it. I loved it. It was a beautiful setup, and I added some bobos in. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you didn't miss me too long. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.